Welcome back to VCT Theory. In today's video, we'll be doing predictions for VCT Americas Ascension playoff bracket. So let's get right into it. So the four teams that made it to the playoffs are TSM, Winthrop University, Team Solid, and Envy. Now, based on our power rankings video, you can see that Team Solid isn't supposed to be here, but we were wrong. So, what are your thoughts on Team Solid being here now in the playoffs?
I mean, if I have to be completely logical, I think that they are the team that squeezed through. We didn't have them in the squeeze through category. We had them at no chance. All the squeeze through teams, specifically every single LATAM team, did not show up, I would say. And I don't think that you should rate Team Solid too highly, but also you can't count them out anymore, like
Mm-hmm.
at least we were doing in the power rankings. It was pretty simple for them. Their path would probably be the easiest path to the two wins that they had because they faced Shinden and then they faced Winthrop. They kind
Yeah.
of rolled over Winthrop, and then the Shinden match was closer. But I would say that it doesn't really matter how you look at it. It was just a DG Zen show. He showed
Mm-hmm.
up for both of these games, plus 20, basically in both series as well, plus 20 and plus 23,
Yeah.
destroying the first blood or first kill to first death ratio. And I think it was just a DZ show. You don't really need to think about it that hard. I would say that out of all these teams here, Winthrop and Team Solid are the two weaker teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Team Solid showed that they can win through DGZin's heroics. And we have a couple of heroic players just to go through the teams here. Envy, I would say the person who showed up the most was Exter.
Yeah. 100%.
Extremely solid every map. On TSM Timotino, I would say their matchup, like TSM Team Solid matchup, is probably the most similar matchup. Everybody plays like a normal comp, and they have their shout out duelist in Timotino and also in DG Zin. And then Winthrop, I would say the shout out player there is Ali. I've
Mm-hmm.
never seen a Sage have as many impact kills and impact rounds as Ali has. So I would say those are the players you want to be watching for. What are your thoughts on that?
No, you hit it right, like right on the nail. Like every single player that you mentioned is remarkable. Timotino, TSM, he's literally doing the same thing DJN is doing, except the needing to carry his entire team. Um, Winthrop University, Ali, really not much else you can really say. Moobs hasn't been able to show up recently like he did in the play-in, but it's okay. They're here in the playoffs now. That's what matters. Team Solid, as you said, DJ's in. He's literally carrying this team on his back. Every single map is DG's in, DG's in, DG's in. And it's just like, if you can't shut him off, then he's just gonna he's gonna take him there. And then you have Envy. Exter has literally been remarkable. He's always shown up, always been there. What a Chad. You know what I'm saying? Like not nothing I can really say about Exter. He's just been the best player in Envy so far.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has had a player, which is great. That's kind of what you need for these runs. But let's go more specifically into these first round matchups and then go into the predictions as a whole. So what
Mm-hmm.
what do you think about TSM Winthrop?
TSM versus Winthrop. I think it's pretty obvious that one team has a slighter edge over the other, and that team being TSM. TSM as a whole, they're definitely more cohesive together compared to Winthrop. I think there are certain players on Winthrop that haven't been able to show up, and that player being Moves. But Timotino versus Infiltrator, the duelist matchup, I really do believe that that will go in the favor of Timotino. I think he's a better duelist than Infiltrator. No hate to Infiltrator. I think he's still remarkable. I think Timotino is just better. Um, so
So what do you think about Team Solid and Envy there? You think that it's just going to be as easy of a matchup for Envy?
as easy of a matchup, no, because watching the way Envy has been playing hasn't been selling me. As in, hasn't been telling me that they're the best team in this tournament. Really, watching Envy play against like Team Stella or TSM, you could tell that Envy likes to just throw rounds, and they've thrown one too many rounds for me to fully believe they have what it takes to win out this tournament and take it to tier one. Between Team Solid and Envy, if DGZin is able to keep doing DGZin things, Envy won't stand a chance. I think it's possible for Envy to shut down DGZin by just out aiming him, but the way he's been playing, I don't think uh the way I'm just gonna cut right there. The way Envy has been playing, I just don't know if they have what it takes to fully put him down together as a team rather than trying to do it individually.
Interesting. So, I mean, if I have to give my short thoughts, I think TSM Winthrop is going to be pretty simple, like you said. I would say you're going to need a miraculous throw or an amazing everybody's on the same page by Winthrop for Winthrop to get through there. I think TSM has that. I don't mean that as in like it's not going to be a close game. If everybody shows up, it's going to be close. But I just think that the matchups for basically everybody, and especially I think the most important one is, as you mentioned, the Timotino and Infiltrator matchup is just outclassed. Timotino is playing a great tournament. He's playing super selfless. His team is setting him up perfectly, and he's just taking the space. He's doing
Mm-hmm.
his job. And then for Team Solid Envy, I think that I would take your route as well. I think that it's not as cutthroat as TSM and Winthrop. I think that Envy has shown a lot of gaps, a lot of misplays.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be a pretty interesting matchup. This one's where the one that I'm not like really sold on both teams. I still don't think Team Solid should be here because they probably had the easiest route here, but they showed us that they have it. They have the crowd backing them. And then one thing that is interesting is that I would say TSM was the only team that convincingly beat Team Envy, and they do have a core of the GMD and Seven, and the only team that has a lot of experience
Mm-hmm.
other than TSM is Team Solid. So
Yep.
I don't know if that'll come to effect, but I think that should be an interesting matchup. So given those thoughts, let's hear your pick'ems. Let's go through the whole bracket.
All right. So first matchup we got TSM versus Winthrop. Based on my ideas earlier with TSM versus Winthrop, I actually am gonna just go straight through and say TSM is gonna win out there. Um, Team Solid versus Envy. I really believe if Envy is playing the way they have been playing, that there's a chance that they could lose. I think this matchup is more of a 50-50 than most people would actually believe. But I'm gonna go out and say that I'm gonna go out and say Envy is going to beat Team Solid. And I'm gonna go to the lower round one. And I'm gonna say Team Solid beats Winthrop again. I think they're a better team. TSM versus Envy. It's a rematch here. I think there's no world that I see TSM losing. I'm gonna go TSM there. Team Solid versus Envy gets a rematch in the lower finals. Uh, I'm gonna go out and say Team Solid wins there, and then TSM wins it all. That is my entire playoff prediction.
All right. So if I have to be honest, I had the exact same bracket as you in
Mm-hmm.
my head. But I won't do what my head says because every time I predict something, clearly something falls short. We had the Red Cannons, we have Team Solid here.
Fair enough.
So I'm going to do something that if I had to predict, like if I actually had to predict, I would do exactly the same setup as you. But I'm going to do not what I actually think, but I think I'm going to do a little bit of a play out there. So the first matchup is going to be the same. TSM Winthrop, TSM wins. I think it's a clean win. I think there is a very slight chance, maybe like a 20% chance, that a perfect Winthrop even beats TSM. So I'm taking TSM there.
Yeah.
Second matchup, Team Solid versus Envy. So I like the 50-50 idea there, but I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to take Envy there just because I think that even on a perfect matchup, perfect strategy, Envy will find a way to, even if they lose a map, they're going to be able to close this out. So now here's where I'm going to change it up. If I had to pick between Winthrop and Team Solid, I would pick Team Solid every day of the week because I think that DG Zin and the team just overpower Winthrop as a whole. But I'm not going to go with what I think. I'm going to go take Winthrop right here against Team Solid. And the reason for that is I think that if Moves does not start the game at 2-20 or whatever he showed up, he was 1-14 and 1-11 in the first halves of the game. They have a pretty solid chance against Team Solid, and this is under the assumption that Team Solid's DG Zin doesn't take over. But I think that they do actually have a solid matchup, as it is a rematch. They can think about the vetoes, and they can make this close even if they don't win. But I'm taking Winthrop right here. Then TSM against Envy. We've seen this happen. I think that TSM has shown two good of a team, and Envy has shown too many flaws. I'm taking TSM there. So I think that there's no real thought process behind that. They've beat them twice. When you think about it again, they already had a rematch and they beat them. And I think they're going to do it again. I just think that they have too many good maps. They have Timotino clearly outshining Kane Zera. And I think they're just going to go well for them. And then here's where the other switch up will happen. I think Winthrop beats Envy here. And the reason for that is I think finally we'll be able to, by the point that Winthrop's being team solid, Winthrop's going to be happy with their performance. And I think Envy is going to just slip out. I think they're not going to be able to do it, even though I think that realistically, again, Envy Winthrop matchup should be very easy for Envy. I think that they're just not going to show up on the day. And then this leaves us with probably one of the easiest grand final matchups for TSM, where TSM will beat Winthrop and take it home. Now, I will say that I would have done your pick'ems as well, but I do think that the one thing that I truly believe in is that I think Envy is going to fall flat and not get to the grand finals. No matter whether it's your route of them playing Team Solid and getting wiped by Team Solid, or they lose to Winthrop, which is what I'm saying. I think that Envy truly hasn't shown anything convincing to me. I would say that the last two maps that we've seen were pretty dominant, 13-3 and 13-0. But I don't think they're going to be able to replicate that. So I think that if everything goes according to plan, with a couple of mishaps, TSM should have a pretty easy Ascension rise.
Let us know your thoughts on our predictions. Has Darter lost his mind again? Will I be victorious again? And who do you want to see win Ascension? Let us know in the comment section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you in the next video.